the ultimate confluence signal. To get true confluence, you need reliable data and reliable indicators. The Level Beast market map indicator, in addition to our other indicators, the Level Beast VWAP ATR Advantage Plus, the Level Beast, all of our indicators, we have some special components in them. Our flagship is the market map. Here's a way to get extreme confluence every day. This is today, right? And the market is live, as you can see. We released our levels before and our trade plans before the market opens every single day by 9:15. There's a special note there, and then there's some context on what we're looking for. Right now, war tensions are hot, etc., etc. JP's on the mic later today. We give you what we're looking at leading up to CPI next week. We give you what we're looking at in relation to pivot levels on VIX, etc. This data is priceless, all right? We distill all the data that you may hear about, all the data that you may be thrown at you. You don't know how to make sense of it. We do. We know why it makes sense, and we present it to you. Where we stand, etc. It's for SPX, ES, QQQ, and NQ. You can use this data for the minis, right? As the minis are tied to the micros, so that's fine. Or rather the micros, sorry, misspoke. You can use this data for the micros as they're tied, and you can use this data for SPY. SPX is SPY's big brother. It's just a 10x conversion. Until we directly chart on SPY, you can just do that there. This video is about confluence though. How do we get extreme confluence? All right, so here's how we get confluence. This is a variance zone. The color teal suggests there are buyers in this area. As you can clearly see around the market, everywhere you saw a teal when we first started, you saw buyers stepping in there. This tells us where we're going to likely trap, stall, or reverse, right? Therefore, some traders only use one chart. That's fine, no problem. With the market map indicator, we cover 4 tickers with this one indicator. We've got 4 trade plans. We've got 4 charts for you. It's already marked up. You just load it how you see fit, right? Just like this, okay? One thing you can do is you can stack them just like so and watch the confluence. Why? Because what you're looking at is about 80% of the market right here, sometimes higher than 90, 95%, right? At any given time, depending. Right? This represents a major portion of the market. So for us, we're always going to get a good move no matter what we're watching. But here's what we look for. You see confluence here, right? You ever have your stock move past a level? We'll use these magnet levels here. These are intermediary targets where there's intermediary buy or sell pockets, and the market gravitates like a magnet toward these levels if it's in this kind of no man's zone, right? So if it's coming off of a primary pivot area or primary level like the LIS1, LIS2, the next stop, it's got to pivot at or very close to the magnet, all right? Well, you ever wonder why it may dip past it a little bit? Now, first and foremost, there's no trader, only amateur traders believe that your levels or anything in your system is absolutely perfect, right? Like you're not gonna see a wick past this area, right? That's foolish. See, there's a wick there. That's foolish. What you need to understand is buyers and sellers are sitting here. Are they sitting at 6387.95? Yes. But are they also sitting at 6390.06? Yes. Are they also sitting at 6385.06? Yes. So the ideal is this is the area right here. This is the exact level that we've identified. And as we come close to that area, you're going to see like a magnet us being pulled there, right? As we're coming down towards it. Well, the same is true with anything that you trade. That's why you have these little wicks. So nothing, especially on the lower time frame, nothing is going to be exactly to the cent, right? Respected in that context. But when you go to a higher time frame, you will see some exact movement. See that? See, look at NQ. This is a zone. This was here before the market opened. We can't make this up. Notice how this candle closes right there. The next candle right above it opens. That is very good actionable data. The same corresponding price action is represented on QQQ inside the zone. What was the tail zone? It tells us when the market will reverse, trap, or stall. Are we reversing? Yes, right? Did we stall there? Yes, right? Where are we going from here? We don't know right now. That's not what's important in this training. What's important is you understand what confluence, true confluence looks like. So notice we don't have 50 different indicators on that. We don't need an RSI or an oscillator down here. Although oscillators and different deviations, they can be useful for different setups. What we're saying is we have to use real-time data to get the best confluence, and that's what this is. So all we do, we're looking at our trades here. Now, this morning, we took this trade here in our private trading panel and community. We just took the trade. We opened right underneath a magnet level, right above LIS2, but underneath LIS1. Here it is there. You can kind of see it. See if we can magnify that. It's a red line. Let's go ahead and just turn it on so you can see it here. We'll scroll down and we'll turn on show LIS label. All right. So the label is there. There's the label, LIS1, LIS2, all right? So now, we knew that if there was a collapse there, if there was a collapse here, we would revert based on our plan, based on our rule set for our indicators in our system, we revert back to this level here, right? So we took that trade, very simple. And the break of, and the reclaim of this magnet level, right? That's a failure there. Told us to get into the trade, come back down, right? So it's a 2-bar break on the 15. You can watch all of our other videos. You know how our ideology works. There's a 2-bar break on the 15. That's a solid trade, but look at where it exactly closes. I mean, that you can't make, that's incredible. We love to see stuff like that. We love it, right? And so what this means to us is that when we check the 4 corners here, SPX, ES, QQQ, and Q, and we see 1 variant zone, buyers. 2 variant zone, we didn't even get to it. We just barely touch here, and then we start to see 3 variant zones. We start to see buyers. 4 variant zones. This is confluence. This is a trade to the upside. You decide what you want to take. Do you want to take options? Do you want to take futures? Do you want to trade the ETF here? Do you want to trade NASDAQ? That's up to you, right? Now, a lot of you guys, we're going to just call it like we see it. A lot of you guys, because these levels are as close to perfect for us, we're going to make that statement so that you don't get it confused. They are as close to perfect for us within our system and framework. You can use it with any system. But because they're as close to perfect for us, we rely on them. We can confidently take that trade once we see and we confirm volume. Now, we want to say all of this is based on volume. It's based on volatility. It's based on buyers and sellers shifting. And there's some other components that's baked into this, right? So that we can predict or forecast where this is going to be. But we always verify with the tape. So let's break this down. Why is this so powerful? I have immediate real-time confluence, not a lagging indicator. That's number 1. We've got that on our screen. Number 2, we understand where volume is with our VWAP ATR. This here, you see this number printing there? See that? That's telling us something, right? Right? So these are analytics that Wall Street uses, right? We're presenting them to you in our fashion, right? And they're working together. And then on top of that, to verify everything, right? We are going to look at the tape and we're going to verify that buyers, we know they're sitting there, but we're going to verify that they're actually activated. Once we start to see that, we take our trade. But the beauty of it is, have you ever wanted to catch, not to say that you're always going to do this, but have you ever wanted to catch the top and the bottom of a trade or get as close to perfect entry as you can? That's why we built this, because we figured out a way where we can get as close to perfect entries as possible. I mean, we're live in the market. Look at this. We're live. I just showed you ultimate confluence, how this thing can run. We posted the levels, right? People see it. That's pretty incredible. Now, I as part of the team here, I'm very proud of this, right? But I can't take credit for it. You know, we all chip in to run through so many points of review before we release it, right? Obviously, you have to, when you have thousands of people relying on data, you have to make sure that your data is as accurate as possible, although you still make your own decision. We want to uphold our end, right? And after all, we're trading this. this video is for confluence. You can stack your chart like so, and you can watch for confluence, even if you only trade one of the tickers on the screen here. And what we're saying is, this is representing the majority of the market. And when we see the confluence line up, varying zone, we see buyers coming in here. It would be no different if we came into a purple or a short, we could also say put, but a short varying zone, right? If we see it all line up there, then we have confluence, it triggers, and we can take the trade. What we're working on now, releasing in the next quarter, are alerts, right? Where you can set alerts at the edges and levels. So any levels, you can set an alert, and at the top or bottom of a varying zone, you can set alert, and we're working on a few others. We only do and push updates like that monthly or quarterly, depending, and then we wait to the next push. We don't want to push them every single day or anything like that, because we're always working on releasing data, and any type of bug fix, minor ones, we push those, right? We fix those. So that's how we look for confluence in a leading indicator. Here's another, again, we're live. Here's another, element in the market. Magnet level, magnet level, magnet level. We've got 3 points, right? We don't quite reach on the Q. So that's 3 points of confluence there. What would you do? Well, you would have already been looking to take a simple scalp or short off of this level here on the futures if you wanted to. You could have been looking for your trade on an 8-point move on options. That's fine too. Or you could simply wait. Now, we're gonna keep going over this. We're gonna state this ad nauseum, and we're gonna try to keep it very simple. How do you know when you're gonna finally break through these areas? Well, any level, any zone ultimately will be broken. It has to be, right? Because of shifts in volume, buyers and sellers. How you know is you confirm on the tape, but what we'll let you know is this very simple rule of thumb. This is not law. You make your own decision. But what we're saying is this. We know that when we come into our zones for the first attempt, that is the first attempt of buyers and sellers in that zone, we have the highest probability for the move. So the first time, just like if you're looking at a double bottom or a triple bottom or a double top or a triple top, why do those exist? It's because the market is trying to push, and one dominant side is testing a new price level, a new price interest. And so with this one, as we sell, it tested once. Well, on the first attempt, you will get the most aggressive rush if there is going to be if this is going to dissipate down here. So if this is not going to dissipate, then you're going to see 1, 2, boom, you're gone. Or 1, 2, 3, boom, you're gone, right? But if we have a negative sentiment in the market, we're going to test, pop, and then we're going to test again. So there's many trades here. You can take the overall move to the downside, right? Let's check confluence again. Again, this training here is about confluence. How do we know when we're going to break? Well, we'll use the trade that we took this morning, right? We have negative sentiment in the market. How about we magnify, guys? Let's magnify NQ. All right, so there's NQ. Right away, we already know, and we're not going to go over this right now. You have to look at our training. We're underneath the regime line. That's number one. That's just flat out negative sentiment. And we're nowhere near close it. We're nowhere near it. All right, so negative sentiment. Number two, we're under the primary thing for the day. We're under the LAS. So our sentiment for the day, week, month, quarter is already negative, already, bearish. And the sentiment for the day is already opening bearish. That's a no-brainer, right? Here's what we know. So we know we're favoring a downside action is going to be more aggressive than an upside action. That's number one. Number two is, well, where are we in relation to our levels? Well, we open underneath LAS1. That's point number two. This means we're going to favor downside action, right? And then number three, out the open, we begin to make an aggressive move toward LAS2. That's a target. That's a target. So if we try to get in our trade anywhere above this magnet level, we have a potential of being in early and letting this thing rip to our target. And we really won't see, even if we see a stall or a couple of chips, even if the candle closes here and then breaks again, we really won't see any buyer step in according to what we're seeing. We want to be clear on that, okay? Nobody has a crystal ball. But according to what we're seeing, we're not going to see buyer step in until this variance zone here. Again, this was plotted before the market opens. You can't make this stuff up, right? So now we come to it. On the first attempt, we know the buyers are going to basically wake up. They wake up, they want to push you up. In this case, 300 to about 384. You got an 84-point move. 84 points on NQ. This is the 15-minute chart. What if we went down to the 1 minute, right? To the 1 minute. A lot of you guys are scalping on the one. That's no problem. Many on our team scalp on the one. I scalp on the one. That's no problem. We scalp on many time frames, but the one, we don't go really lower than that. So, but here's what we're saying. You can get a very good entry. See that? Breaks off your level. There's a break. There's a retest, right? See that? Break, retest, and we're in. Break your level. Your stop is here, just above it. You're leaving alone. Target 2, target 3, target 4, ultimate reverse. And look at how it moves. This was incredible. So again, we're giving you a macro and micro view, and we're saying what we look for confluence. What do? Well, you stack your charts just like this. You're looking for your zones, right? And you can set your own levels for now, or rather your own alerts for now, right? Just put a line here, put an alert if you want. Those will be coming in the future. And then you can go to any time frame that you want, and you can trade accordingly, all right? And so that's what we look for. That's how you can use the market map, Level B's market map indicator, real time. We have to update it every day. We do a push in the morning just before the market opens, 15 minutes prior to the market opens. Our SLA is 9:15. Sometimes it's 9:18. Sometimes it's 9:20 if government data is delayed. Our average, most of the time, is 9:15, and we're committing to that, right? But that's how you get confluence there. We hope this helps. Happy trading.